All right, so next up we've got a little bit of a, looks like I might have thrown you in the deep end here, right? So we do have some x's in the denominator. We do need to worry about potentially dividing by 0. So again, we're going to take the denominator, 3x squared minus 10x minus 8, and say I can't have that equal to 0. How am I going to solve this? We talked about this in chapter 2, right? You can try factoring. You can do the quadratic formula. If you hate yourself that particular day, you can do complete the square, right? But I'm going to start off with trying to factor because we can only factor 3x squared one way. And so I really need what factors of 24, negative 24 that differ by 10 to split that into 2. But really I can do a check and test or test and check or whatever they call that. So, because I can look at this and say, okay, well, 8 can do that as 2 and 4, one of those being negative. And so if I do a 3x plus 2 and an x minus 4, that is going to give me minus 12x plus 2x. That gives me the minus 10. And of course, I've got the 8. So now we can say, okay, great. If either one of these factors is equal to 0, we've got problems. So I have 3x plus 2 can't be equal to 0. So 3x can't be equal to negative 2, and x can't be equal to negative 2/3. Or from the other factor, x minus 4 can't be equal to 0. So x can't be equal to 4. So we've got the set of all x such that x is not equal to negative 2/3. And not equal to 4. Or in interval notation, this one's a pain in the rear, so we're going to have to say negative infinity to negative 2/3, negative 2/3 to 4, and 4 to infinity. All of those are parentheses. Okay. For the second example, it's a little bit easier, right? We don't have to worry about dividing by 0. So we're just going to remind ourselves we need to check for that. So there's no x's in the denominator. Don't need to worry about it. We do need to worry about a negative under the square root. So what we're going to do is we're going to take what's under the radical, 8 minus x, and say I need that to be greater than or equal to 0. So here, remember, if you multiply or divide by a negative, you need to flip the sign. I like to avoid that by using addition. So I'm going to move my x to the other side, and I've got 8 is greater than or equal to x, aka x less than or equal to 8. So there's our domain for that one. We can write it up formally, the set of all x, such that x is less than or equal to 8. Or in interval notation, it's a less than, so we're going to go all the way out to negative infinity, up to 8. 8 is included because it's a less than or equal to, and there we go. Next up is with graphs, so I think we're going to go ahead and take a short break here.